everyone, welcome to my live stream. Today I am working on another Druchii character. As you can see, this one is different from the last one. Quite different. Different build, really different armor, really different look. I'm using Photoshop again. I figure I may as well use the same program since I've used Photoshop for the 8 that I've completed before this one. Just use the same program for all of them so they sort of match. I'm also using Lazy Nezumi Pro again. I just can't use Photoshop now without it. Since I'm doing coloring, I've already done the lines a while ago, like a year or two ago. So I'm just going to keep it on this smoothing subtle setting. I've got the backgrounds ready. I'm going to try and remember better this time to keep switching between them. That's the whole point of why I keep a white background and then a medium gray, medium to darker gray background, so that when I'm coloring in the lines, you can really see the difference depending on whether you have a white background or a gray background. If you're missing little areas right where the lines are, and you sort of miss something because the color you're coloring with is either too light a color or too dark a color to tell. So I've got his description up here on my other screen. I want to first look and see. I always like to start with the skin tone when I'm coloring characters. I don't really see anything that mentions his skin tone, just like the last guy. So most of these characters have been fairly light skinned, so I'll continue with that since they're all supposed to be the same race. They're all these Druchii dark elves. So let's pick him a color. Don't want it to be too light. I don't want him to look like a sickly or something. He's also supposed to be old, but since these are dark elves, they don't usually, even if they are old, they still don't usually show age that much. See, I don't want him to look washed out though. So you can see one side of his face has been totally wrecked up. They said it was badly burned by a spell, and he's supposed to look like Freddy Krueger on one side. So let's see. I think I like that color. I'm gonna go with that. Let's get the brush. Let's get a larger size. Since I'm just coloring in right now, I don't have to be too careful. Since this is the bottom layer, I can just color kind of freely. And anything that goes outside of the lines I can erase away, and a lot of stuff I don't even have to erase away if another layer is going to be covering it up anyway. And he's already coming to life just by putting a skin tone under there. Now, I'm trying to think, this part right here, this little triangle, I think this should be fabric. Yeah, so I think this is one color and this is the other color. Otherwise it looks really like he tied his shirt poorly. He doesn't have much other skin showing. In fact, I don't think he has any other skin showing. He doesn't have a hand on one arm. The other hand, all that's exposed is a thumb, and I'm sure that it's gloved. So that's it for the skin, except for erasing. So let's zoom in. Let's see here. Ah, too far, too fast. Get the eraser tool. Make the size a bit smaller. Okay, I'm going to try my best to remember. Once I feel like I'm done with a layer, give it one last look over with the other background color switched on. So right now I'm working on white. I'm going to turn on the gray background. Let's see how it looks. I'll probably need to perhaps zoom in a little bit more too. I'm already at 100, so this might be enough. Trying something new with the chat today. Just using my phone, because the other day there was a pretty long chat going and it was awesome, but once it got too far down the screen, because normally I've just been using the Twitch website on my PC browser on Firefox to monitor the chat and see if anyone's trying to talk to me. And once it got too far down, it just wouldn't let me scroll down. And that is like one of many problems I've noticed with the Twitch website, and I'm sure it's just because it's on Firefox. And that kind of sucks, because I have the newest version of Firefox, which is arguably much better than Chrome now. Much faster, and it has other benefits. I never switched over to Chrome like a lot of people jump ship, but I had no reason to leave Firefox. Firefox has never disappointed me. But now it's like this one website doesn't work. So I'm trying to look at the chat on my phone. Just going to leave my phone screen on. Hopefully it'll probably turn off after 10 minutes. But maybe that way I can keep an eye on the chat. And then that also frees up a little more room on my screens, because I only have one extra screen to look at my streaming software and make sure that's still going all right, and look in my notes for these characters to make sure that I'm doing the correct colors for everything and all that stuff. See how this works. Ideally, I want to get a third monitor, then that way I could keep more stuff visible without having to keep messing with it and get one window on top of the other and switching it around, and then I've forgotten and I have to pause and be messing around with that instead of just working on art. I am grateful to have 2 monitors at least though, because my stream would look pretty messy if I had all the windows up on here and I'm like trying to cycle through them on this main screen that I'm streaming. Okay, I think the skin layer looks good. It's definitely a good thing that I turned on this gray layer, because this ear was really messy. Now it looks good. So the next thing I want to do is probably, let's do the eye whites and the teeth. I think that's a good next layer. I always have to think about it. The only thing for sure I start with is skin layer, then what I move on to next is always, I just have to feel it out. Eye whites and teeth. Okay, start with teeth. I always do a white that's based in yellow, because it's more realistic, because everyone's teeth are not perfectly white naturally, and I think it's far more interesting to have the different shades of white in the world than to just try and have perfectly white. And I think that in real life too, not just in art. But right now I think it also matches this character, because the teeth show a lot here where his mouth is all messed up from that spell, I think it makes sense that his teeth would be not perfect either. I'm not going to make them horrible or anything, but it's just even more reason not to do a super bright white color. Let's get all the way in this corner. Now for this, since I'm coloring on the skin layer right now, I'm going to turn the skin layer off and turn on this gray. Then I can really see where stuff needs cleaning up. I'm not going to clean up where the gums are because I'm going to fill the gums in with their own color. I think this is good. Okay, so turn the skin back on, turn this gray layer off. Now we'll move on to the eye whites. And same thing with the teeth, I like to do a slightly tinged white, but I like to do it tinged with blue. I'll color this highlight right here, but I might end up just coloring that with pure white later. That's one thing that I actually do like to use a pure white on, is those super bright highlights on the eyes and other shiny things, because it just makes them really pop. But for now, I'll just fill it in with this eye white color. And let's see, I think that's good, but let's double check like I did before. Turn off the skin, turn on the dark gray. Make sure I didn't miss anything or go too far out. Looks good to me though. Okay. So the next layer is going to be the irises and the other parts of the eye that are colored. So on this eye, since it's really damaged, this is going to be like really pink, like the inside of your eyelid, and here is normally pink anyway, so I'm going to do it there too. I won't do any on this side because his eyebrow is so angry here that I'm just going to figure it's mostly covering it up. And he's supposed to have dark eyes, so actually here I've filled it in completely with black, but I think that the reason why I didn't do that here was I was figuring the iris also got damaged by the spell, so I was going to give it a slightly different color. Maybe just a gray. Oh, we'll see. I can always mess with it later, just like I did on the last one. Okay, what shall I call this? I'll call it gums. Call it eye colors. Because it's not just the irises, it's these parts that I don't know the anatomical names of. Might make them the same color as the gums, we'll see. So let's start with this gray. And he's supposed to have dark eyes, so I think I'll start with like a brownish base, but I'm going to make it gray as if it got bleached. Let's see. Let's see how that looks. I think I went a little too far into that highlight. Let's erase just a little bit. Yep. How's that? I think that's good. Let's pick a fleshy pinky color. I do have a reference picture of Freddy Krueger to work off of. because they specifically mentioned him in their character description. I kind of want it to look like raw flesh. Kind of gross. That might be a little too pigmented. Let's see. Let's try this. See how this looks. That's pretty good. Like how it's carrying on. And this side too. It's all exposed. Messed up. I don't know if you can hear my dog. He's working himself up to bark at the people talking in the other room. Okay, let's do a double check. Turn off the skin layer, turn this layer on. Maybe we'll turn off the eye whites too. Yep, I can see a little bitty spot. That's good. I think I will do the gums the same color. I might have to keep using this color elsewhere. I'm going to do a completely different layer for the scar tissue so that because it's so complex. Oh, there goes Soon. He had a real bark this time. Soon! Soon! He just always needs to let us know. There's someone talking out there. Turn these off. Take a look at these. I think that's good. Okay, next. Oh, yep, my phone turned off. Dang it, how do I make it not turn off? There. Okay, maybe I can zoom out a bit. I don't think I need to be this close anymore. Probably the hair. Now let me look at this description. I don't think it actually mentions hair color, but he wanted it to look like, oh my gosh, I can't remember his name, super famous Japanese actor from black and white movies. Alright, he's super cool. I can't remember his dang name though. Anyway, his hair is black, and since he's supposed to be a reference for the way the top knot looks, I'm going to make his hair black. New layer. Call it hair. We'll do the eyebrows too, although this side has no eyebrow. Completely burned off. And as usual, don't actually want to do a completely black color. I think I'll do just have the slightest little bit of color in it, slightest little bit of blue, and it'll be really dark, but I'm going to rely on the highlighting and shading to actually make it look like black hair. Forgot to close my calendar tab so it wouldn't pop up reminders. My husband's going to do the end of inspection walkthrough on our new house. It was such a good house, though. I'll be surprised if there's any major problems. I asked him to measure the bathroom so I could buy some luxury carpets. I just want some really nice bath mats. But I want to make sure to get the right sizes, because this house has 3 bathrooms, which is sweet. But I don't even remember the 3rd one. Like, I look at the pictures of it from the listing, and I have no memory of even looking in there. But maybe I was so excited by the house that I literally didn't look in there. So I don't want to order carpets and it ends up, or bath mats, bath rugs, and end up they don't fit, or they're way too small and they're kind of ridiculous or something. I wanted to go too, but I need to do my live streaming. Got my schedule. I want to stick to it. I want to make it a habit so people can expect me to be here. Plus, with using a borrowed space as my art space, it's been really hard recently to stay motivated, stay on task and everything, and this live streaming window that I've set for myself has actually been, it's been great because I continue to work on art every day despite everything else. So I decided that this was more important than going to the house walkthrough. I'm just gonna have to wait till the end of March. That's when we can move in. That's the latest that we should have to wait to move in, according to our sale agreement. Now, these live stream windows have been great because this commission series of characters has been, it's another, I guess I get intimidated by my own projects. And when I first started them, I'm like all gung-ho, like, yeah, I could do this, this is going to be awesome. And then I actually start doing the work, and it's just such a heavy load that I eventually start procrastinating, or I forget about it, or whatever. And so it's really great that I found something to motivate me to work on these things, even when I really don't want to. I'm just thinking about, what am I going to do for my live streaming? I may as well work on these important projects. I'm really looking forward to my new house too, because I'm going to use some of the proceeds from the sale of my old house to buy some updated studio equipment. I'm really looking forward to that, because my previous desk that I've had for years has just been really, it's always hard on my back. And I got this great chair last year, and that really helped, but it didn't completely solve the problem, because it can't fix the problems with the desk. Let's get this one a little bit. So I want to buy a couple new desks. So I've been using these mismatched, like, so I have this one computer desk, and it's one of those typical ones that has like the keyboard, sliding keyboard table, or what do you call that, platform? And that's fine for like normal activity on the computer, but the problem is I need to use my tablet, which is a Wacom Cintiq, and that means it's a screen in and of itself. It is my main monitor, and the stand it comes with doesn't allow it to stand straight up and down. It's always at an angle, like a slight, I don't know, I'd call it like a 15-degree angle away from me. And so if I have to sit lower because of the computer chair not being able to come up higher, since the keyboard platform keeps me from making my chair higher, just makes it really hard on my back because I'm always having to lean forward. Like that's what I'm doing now on this desk that I'm currently using. It's got the same thing where it has the roll-out keyboard platform, and it keeps me from making my chair as high as I might be able to. So what I want to get is just a couple of flat tables, like desks that don't have anything else. It's just one big flat surface. And I found some good ones on Amazon. I found them because I found a replacement for my current light table. The light table I have now is a former shoe store display table. So it's not actually meant for someone to sit under it. It was just a fancy way to put their shoes on it and display them in the store. And it's worked great for me, but it's just so low. And since it wasn't designed to be a light table or anything, I just have to stick my lamps under there and keep messing with them, and I can't get them that close to the glass. And I'd really like to get them closer so that the light is as bright as possible shining through my paper. And I found this other table on Amazon that was just perfect for that application. It's a desk with a glass top, and then it has like a little open space underneath that's maybe 5 inches below the glass table. So it's like exactly what I need. What I'm going to do is put those lights that they're usually advertised for use as under cabinet lights. So if you need more countertop lighting, you put them underneath your wall cabinets in your kitchen. But these lights, because of that, they're like flat and long, and they would fit perfectly inside of this desk. And I even found some of those lights that hook up. So you hook them to one another so that you only have to flip one switch and they all turn on. So I just want to fill that desk with those lights, and then it's going to be like the perfect light table, because a lot of people look for light boxes, and those are good because they're portable. But I like with the light table idea, you can have this huge area to work on. It can be basically as big as the glass surface of the table. So it can be absolutely massive and way cheaper than a light box of that size would cost. So those are some of the things I'm really looking forward to getting once we get into the new house. But there's no point in me buying them yet because we just have to put them in storage, and we already have so much in storage right now. It's like we have a whole storage unit, and then we got one of those pods moving storage where they bring it, and it's just a big, huge, like rectangular storage thing. And it's portable, and they pick it back up with their trucks and put it in their storage area, and then when you're ready for it, they bring it back to you. So we've got that too. And then we've got a whole bunch of stuff here where we're currently staying at my husband's parents' house. And they've been really nice in letting us store tons of stuff here too, so I don't want to add to that. I'm gonna wait until, I think I'll wait until like a couple days before our move-in date, if we have to wait that long. We might not have to. And then that way with the Amazon 2-day Prime shipping, it should be that all of my new art studio furniture and stuff arrives the same day that we're moving in. So it would be perfect. Hopefully I don't have to wait all the way until the end of March though, because it's so far away. I want to move in now. Let's see, I want to check something real quick. And I'll turn off my calendar. There's nothing else in my calendar that'll pop up. So never mind. I won't turn off my calendar. Okay. I'm getting tons of notifications on my phone. I'm like tempted to look at them. But no, I am working on this right now. I must stay focused. All these little details in the hair where it pulls away from the hairline. There's just so many little triangles to fill. I think it'll look good in the end. I love details. It's always tedious to do the details, but then in the end, when it's done and I don't really have the feeling of that tedium anymore, I'm always happy that I did it. And I think with the new stuff I want to get for my studio setup, I bet the tedium won't be as strong for stuff like this. So if I have a desk where I can raise my chair up so I'm at the proper height to look at the screen and not hurt my back, and then I also want to get one of those screen arms. Like, you can put any screen on it, but a lot of people use it for their tablets, so that you can sort of have it hovering in your lap, so you don't have to actually hold it in your lap. Because when I did that, I think it was 2 weeks ago, when we were moving out of my old house, and I was still trying to stick to my schedule, so I was streaming while the movers were moving stuff out. I had the tablet in my lap for a while and it got so hot. And it was so heavy too. So having one of these arms would be great, because you don't actually have any weight in your lap, but you can, you can angle it so that it's, right in front of you, like you, as if you had like your sketchbook right there. Really want to use it. And maybe, I've always preferred physical media art because it's just more comfortable. I mean, there's other reasons too, but when it comes to comfort, I've always been more physically comfortable working on a physical media piece. And I think it's just because of my desk and everything. I've never had a desk that was conducive to working on digital art for long periods of time. Gotta remember when I'm done with this to turn off the skin layer so I can take a look and make sure everything looks filled in. I guess I'll try that dark gray layer too, but since this is already really dark, that probably won't make a difference for this color. I just gotta remember to do that. Or else I'll be in the middle of shading and highlighting and having to go back and fill in areas that I missed because I didn't notice it. It's like last time. Maybe it doesn't make a difference, but I feel like it saves time if I get all of that done when I'm actually coloring everything in. My husband just messaged me what the closest Pokestops are to our new house. I've always got to do my Pokemon Go. I haven't been doing it recently though. It's like, it's so hard for me to stick to my normal schedule when I'm not in normal surroundings. Since I've been here, I've only walked my poor dog once. I have that in there as in my schedule as a task every day of the week, except Tuesday and Thursday, because I need to if I don't schedule times to shower, I just forget. So Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday I shower too. But I walk my dog those days too. And I only shower that many times a week because I have curly hair. And anybody with curly hair will know that the less you shower, the better your hair will be. And the more you shower, the more it damages your hair. Let's see. So I on purpose made his hairline way out here, as if whatever the spell was. See, his hairline here comes even in front of his ear, straight down. That would mean that it would normally come down here, but I purposefully let it be way back here, as if all the hair follicles around here were messed up. But I did do a few lines here, so I'm going to do a little bit of color. Seems like a few hairs are struggling to grow through the damage. Oh yeah, I think that's looking good. It does seem like I might have missed some areas right here though. Let's turn the skin layer off. Zoom in. If I do 200%. Let's work backwards. Backwards from where I was, and let's get a little tiny brush. Super little tiny. I'm pretty good on this side. I had to make sure that I had this coming down from back behind these sort of spikes that stick out. I'm going to color this in actually. Oops. No. That's sticking out like that. Take a look at his sideburn. Yeah, I can see now that I've zoomed in super close. Areas where I've sort of just grazed the edge instead of filled it all the way in. There, I think that's good. Yeah, that doesn't make a difference. This hair color's much too dark. Okay, what else? It looks like the base color for the entire head is all good. So let me zoom out. See what would be a good next layer. I'm thinking maybe this underclothes. So he's got this kimono-like top. And he's got these sleeves here. The glove here. You can see his sleeves coming out of his, what do you call this, a breastplate? I'm not an expert in armor, although I did do a lot of research. Let's see. And then these are pants right here. It says that his armor and his description were silver and black cloak, a couple of pieces are supposed to have the house symbol in red, but none of those actually show in this drawing. So like the cloak, you can't see the back of it, so you can't see where the house symbol is. So I wonder if maybe I should incorporate red somewhere. Maybe the inside of the cloak I should make red, so that he has that red element visually, even though he doesn't have any of the armor that has this red symbol on it that he's supposed to have. Yeah, the only mention of color are those, and it's not really specific about what is what color. So actually, I think I'll start with the cloak. I want to make the inside part of the cloak red, so I'll start with that. Ah, no. Cloak inside. And I'll make sure it's not too bright because I don't want it to overtake, because it is in the background, so I don't want it to overtake the elements that are before it. So let's just make it a nice dark red. That matches the dark elf theme anyway, so we'll just do this super, yeah, this nice, almost velvety red. And let's zoom all the way out. I'm just going to do a big fill in, and then I'll erase around the edges anything that needs to be erased. Because most of this stuff, since it hasn't been colored in yet, will just be covered up anyway, so I won't have to erase any of this. Just around the outside. You can do it, Photoshop. You can do it. How's that? Look and see, make sure you got everything. Looks like it. Zoom in. This is another color that's so dark already that I think I probably don't need to worry about using the gray background layer to verify that it's all filled in. I'm just going to look with the white. Up here looks good. Cutting it close right there, but it looks like it's all inside that line, because that edge right there, I'm going to make it black, as if the black from the outside has been curved around for the hem. Now let's erase. I want to zoom in for this. 100% and bigger eraser than that. Okay, maybe a little smaller than that. Not that big. I guess I can actually erase a little bit further in, since that's that hem part. Alright, let's go bigger now here, because this is a huge area. Coming across. I'm just following this hem because that's the only place I need to worry about erasing. Anywhere else should end up covered by other colors in the end. Just gotta make sure to erase this cleanly. Sometimes that can be troublesome because it'll look like you got everything, but then you like go to save it or something and try to do transparent background, something like that, and then you can see that you missed some pixels and it was just so small, there's no way you were going to notice it until that point. But hopefully I'm erasing cleanly enough. I haven't saved any of these on a transparent background yet anyway, so it should be okay either way. There, I think that's good. Zoom out again and check. Okay, let's save this real quick. I've done quite a bit of work. I want to make sure that I don't lose it. Now, next logical layer is cloak outside. And this one said it's a black cloak. But as usual, I don't want to go full black. I'm actually going to just do dark gray so that I can actually have shadows and highlights appear. And I'll keep it to this red area that I got this red from, because then that way they will go together. I think this looks pretty good right here, this example. So I'm going to start with the hem. Let's get all the way in there. In fact, let's go 200%. Whoa! Don't need that big anymore. Too big. I'm gonna turn the red off so that I can see the white background and not miss anything when I'm coloring this dark gray background. It's taking a little while, but it'll be worth it. It's nice to get the lines all... Well, I use the word perfect a lot. Of course they're not perfect. Nothing's perfect, but, you know, as close to. Getting lots of messages today. of course, the day I try to use my phone to keep an eye on the chat is the day that I get tons and tons of messages. I think that it's probably slightly because I posted some super old pictures on Facebook today that weren't on there before. Pictures from 2003, and I tagged a bunch of my friends. My siblings they all look like little babies because they're all so young. It's from an anime convention, Anime Oasis, the one convention I go to every single year. My local convention, my very first convention. I was hoping that I've been thinking of doing it for a while. I was like, oh, everybody would like this. See these super old pictures, because I have all these photos from when my family first got a digital camera. And since then, I've just amassed so many pictures, and I've tried my best to keep them pretty organized. Though recently, since smartphones have been getting so good with photos, especially now, my brother was awesome and gave me his Google Pixel, and it's basically the best smartphone for taking photos. I take so many photos, but I just end up putting them on my PC, unloading them from my phone and putting them on my PC. And I'm like, I do not want to organize these. So I end up just putting them in a folder marked 2017 phone photos. It would be better if I went back to the way I used to do it and marked them with dates, put them in folders with dates and the name of what it was, like a trip to the zoo or something like that. But I'm just so busy recently. I don't have time to do all that kind of stuff that I used to. It's like I'm busy in a good way. I'm doing lots of stuff I love. But labeling my photos has not been a priority anymore. Slow and steady. Like I can tell as I work on this. I mean, I could tell as soon as I opened it, but I can really tell how old these lines are. I've just gotten a lot better with my digital inking skills, and I've gotten better tools to do it with, better programs. But like I've said before, these characters are really interesting for that reason, because I've sort of done a different step every year, kind of. It's like first I did all the basic sketches and worked out their character designs with the clients, and then I did the inking, and now I'm doing the coloring, and each of these steps have been so far removed from one another that my skills increase between each. Overall, though, I think it makes the whole piece look good. Oops, the stain eraser's too big. There. I think the final piece looks really good on these when I finish them. I wonder if my digital skills will increase more when I have even better hardware. Hardware meaning even, you know, the desk and everything. Maybe that will make it even easier for me and I'll be able to do an even better job with digital work. Really looking forward to it. I've always thought it would be neat, but I don't want to do Artist Alley anymore. But if I did Artist Alley again sometime, I think it would be neat if I could buy one of those cool Wacom tablets that they have that are like drawing tablets, but they're also like computer tablets. So it just has like Photoshop or whatever on it, and you're just holding it in your lap, and then I could bring one of those to Artist Alley and bring like my TV, my HD TV, flat screen, whatever. It's an older one, so I wouldn't mind transporting it. So we've got a newer one now that we received as a wedding present. Take that TV and hook it up to the tablet and kind of do live drawing like I'm doing now, but do it at the convention. Ooh, might even be cool if I streamed it at the same time, although convention Wi-Fi is always terrible, so maybe not, but I don't like doing Artist Alley anymore. It's never been profitable in a hard way, like numbers wise. But for a while it was so fun that made up for it, that I'm like, well, this is all I want to do anyway, so may as well make a few bucks doing it. But then, even though I was making more and more money relative to previous years, the amount of work I was putting in order to achieve that was just, it was like I was making less than $1 an hour for all the time I put in. And that was just for the time I was actually sitting in the Artist Alley. It wasn't the time that I was spending at home making new designs, making prints, designing buttons, making the buttons, making my setup better, more organized and like attractive. And then of course getting an Artist Alley table. I've only done local conventions, but for a couple years it was just a mess. It was the most stressful time and I hated it and I didn't want to do it anymore, and I think that broke me, and I just haven't really wanted to do Artist Alley since then. I've done a couple at conventions that otherwise I would probably end up just hanging out in my hotel room and not actually participating in the convention. So those were good too. But then the last one I did, it was that convention's last time happening. So I don't have that opportunity. Like last year I had thought, okay, maybe I can do Artist Alley after all, because this one convention, local convention, had changed to a spring time for its dates. And then the other one was always around, it was always around either Halloween or Thanksgiving, so it was sort of a more autumn time. And the way they were timed last year was basically 6 months apart. So I thought, oh, this is perfect because I'll just do these two conventions and it won't be as stressful because it's just these two. They'll be 6 months apart, so I don't have to do this big effort all the time. Just I can have a big break in between. But in the end, the spring convention last year isn't happening this year. And then, like I said, the other convention, that ended up being its last year, so there went my every 6 months plan. Now there's only one active convention in town, and it's the one that I posted pictures from today. I think why I'm getting a lot of notifications on my phone right now. And I did Artist Alley there for a long time, on and off for years, and then for like 5 years I did it every single year, and then people were like expecting me to be there and stuff. But that was the one where a couple years in a row it was just insane trying to get in, and I had a miserable time just because of that, and I was starting to dread it. And once you're starting to dread something like that, something that's not even making you a profit, that you're actually losing money on every year. I went back to being a regular attendee the next year. I'm like, yep, I'm not doing the Artist Alley here anymore. I love being a regular attendee. This is the convention I've gone to every year. I just want to hang out. I want to go to panels. I want to see the guests. I want to do all the fun events, because this convention has some really fun events. Like, one is my pride and joy because it was my suggestion years and years ago. It was to have a slumber party where you have like cookies and milk, or they started adding stuff on, and then they do karaoke on there, and then they also do like a cosplay contest sometimes, like a pajamas cosplay contest, and like that event is really unique, and like it was my suggestion, but it has grown since then to include tons of stuff that was never like something I originally envisioned when I suggested it. Then they've also got the convention currently takes place in a hotel that has an arena in it, and we get to use the arena as convention goers. And so they have a roller disco every year, or almost every year, and I love that. I bought roller skates just for that. I don't even roller skate anywhere except for at that convention. And I've had so much fun. I think the last 3 years now I haven't done Artist Alley there. Instead, I've just been a regular attending, and I've been having so much fun that I just don't want to attend any other way. I guess maybe if for some reason I was invited as a guest, then that would be a cool, different experience, so I'd probably be happy to try that out, but there's not really any reason right now for that convention to invite me as a guest. Unless they want me to teach some how to draw, I can do that. That'd be kind of cool. Private drawing lessons, and you just stop in the room, and has maybe a max capacity of, I don't know, 6 or 7 people at a time. Maybe they get like an hour. That would be neat. That would take a lot of planning though. And this convention is cool because they always do their best to make sure that they're not having anything where people are having to pay more after they've already paid for their ticket. The philosophy of this convention is you shouldn't have to pay anything more. So you shouldn't have to pay to get autographs from guests, or you shouldn't have to pay to do other events. Like, you don't have to pay for the roller disco. This roller disco includes, so you'd call them rental skates, but you don't have to pay for it. You just, get your turn, and you get to skate for maybe 15 minutes, I think. And then you have to come off the rink and return the skates so the next group of people can use them. And I'm looking forward to the convention this year because I'm going to cosplay again for the first time in years. I'm going to cosplay All Might. I've been working really hard on my nutrition and workouts to build up my body, slim down. See what happens there. Okay, I'm done with this cloak. I think that's looking really good. I think he looks really good with that red. I think that looks awesome. I think maybe I'm a little biased though, because red and black are my favorite colors. Let's see what I should work on next. I think next should be the cloth parts of his armor, the sort of the underclothes. I'll call it that, because they're under the armor. Now, I'll just use the same black as the cloak. And most of these I think I can color pretty freely because all the armor is covering it, so I'll just do some swipes there. Ah, but here's gonna have to be a bit different. Let me do this other side first. Okay, zoom in again. Draw around this damaged skin. I gotta be careful. I'm gonna turn this outside cloak off, outside cloak layer off, so I make sure not to color into it. Since this layer is on top of the outside cloak layer, and they're the same colors, I definitely don't want to color on top of it. Or else when I go to shade the outside cloak layer, I'll be trying to shade and nothing will change, and it's like, why? And it turns out it's because it's covered up. Okay. I really hope that the folks who commission these characters are really happy with the end result. So I've taken a long time to get them done, but they are definitely receiving much better work than if I had got them done in like a month, which would have been impossible because this is so many characters. That's just impossible for me to get. I think it's 12. It's 10 or 12 characters. But I haven't heard from the clients in a long time, actually. I've tried to email them, or some of them I was messaging on DeviantArt. Well, these will all be posted for them if they come back. I know one of the clients said that he had a kid and now his life is totally different. He doesn't do role-playing anymore. So maybe that's how the rest of the group is. Oops, I thought this was the armor layer, but this is actually cloak right here. Clients have gotten a really good deal here too, because I only charged my rates from back then, but my skills are much higher. Let's see. Much higher than they were when I was charging those rates. So they're getting a really good deal. Let's see. I'm gonna get this, but I don't want to cover the hair. More. Just need a touch right here. Back then when these were commissioned, I was also working full-time. in the IT field, so it was especially hard to get such a big project done quickly. So these days, I still don't think I could get this many characters done in a month, but it definitely wouldn't take me this long. Because now this is my 100%, all I focus on, just making art all day, every day. Well, not all day, I do other stuff too, but I don't have 12-hour shifts and 55-hour weeks anymore. So happy about that. I'm gonna go out a little bit. Ah, right here too. Actually, I wonder if maybe this part is probably a fabric band holding his elbow guard on, so I'm gonna color that in too. I think I can zoom out a little bit. So where's more fabric? There's that. I can't really see any here, although I better do this. So I made that other band fabric, so this one should be fabric too. And then just his thumb right here. Just his thumb. Where else? I think his legs are the only other fabric place left on his armor that's not colored. Dang, he's looking good. Looking like a vampire. I love vampires. Okay. Better zoom in more. Actually, I'm going to do a huge brush just to fill in this middle part, and then I'll zoom in for the outside part. Okay. 200%. Smaller brush. I think this guy is turning out really good. Oh, better turn this cloak layer off. I should go back and double check all the lines before I call this fabric layer done. There, how's that? Let's double check all the other fabric layers. These ones should be fine. Let's see. Yeah, that's all inside. So that should be fine. That's fine. That's fine. So it's just these legs. I think I got them good. Let's turn that back on. Ooh, he's getting done. He's getting done. Oh man, I gotta stretch again. Whew. Okay. It does say his armor is supposed to be silver and black. But I'm thinking maybe I should just make, I don't know. Maybe I'll open some of the characters I did before. He had leather armor. I think he had leather armor too. And that one. This group really likes Okay. She's a closer example. See if it opens. I haven't opened this file in years, so it's really going to take a little while to dig it out. Yeah. I think I should do it kind of like her, because this looks great. And the description says he should be wearing silver and black armor. And she's kind of the same deal. All the fabric parts, except for her cloak, are black. And then the armor is black with just silver detailing. I think she looks really good. Cancel. Okay. Maybe though, let's do do a different black to show that it is a different material. Maybe since it's metal, it should be a more pure black and maybe a little brighter. We'll have it, yeah, like no pigment in it. We'll make it a brighter color. Since overall it will be a more reflective surface being metal. So let's start at the feet. I'm not sure where I want to do the silver details. Okay, I gotta look at this as a whole. It's probably these little like these teardrop shapes here, here, and here. These outside edges should probably be silver. I guess I'm just thinking, should the toes of his shoes be silver too? Or maybe just these lines here. This is the kind of thing I might spend the whole time filling him in, and then I end up erasing half of it anyway because I decided that I didn't want the silver there after all. I guess I'll just wing it, and then if I have to, I will add an erase. So I'm thinking I will make the tips of these shoes silver. I'm going to do the other side, make sure that I'm coloring these the same. So went outside a bit, just a bit, clean that up. Now, I've got multiple parts here. suppose if this is silver, then this should be black. So perhaps, but I don't want it to look ridiculous. I'm gonna make this inside part. I don't want to do like every other line is black and silver and make him look like a zebra. That's not the look I'm going for. I'm going to turn off all these other layers and just color that in. I'm going to make these cuffs on the ankles all black. Did go out a little bit right here. There. Okay, I'm gonna get this other shoe. Make sure I'm doing it the same. This is inside part. And the two cuffs. Dang it, this brush is just a bit too big. Whew, shoulders starting to hurt a bit. If I can at least get this black part of the armor done, I think that'll be good for today, but there's still only the silver part, although that's such a detailed part, it'll probably take just as long. Yep. I'm at least gonna aim to finish this layer today. Then I can work on it some more tomorrow. Now, what should I do with these? These little parts. Maybe, since on the shoes, this little curly part in the line inside next to it, I was going to do both of those silver, so I think maybe I'll do both of these sort of angled designs. I'll make those silver too. So it's following the same pattern of having two silver things next to each other. At least on the legs down here. Because I don't want him to look like a zebra. I just want to look like he's accented with silver. All the way up here. Now these definitely, the stripy part should be black and the accent part along the top will be silver. For sure. Let's do the other leg before I forget. I think I went out a bit. There. Good, good, good. Let's save real quick. I've done a lot of work since my last save. Alright, moving up. I think it's these plates here next. 100%. Zoom in to 100%. Trying not to color in all the way here, even though I could, because I want to leave white spots to remind myself what I decided would be silver. One side done. Let's go back to the other side. I've been thinking I want to do some chibis of all these people that I've been really into because of the Olympics. Mostly because of figure skating. The two hosts, or not hosts, but commentators. I just love them, and NBC commentators. And some of the skaters themselves. And even some of the like movie stars who are spectating. I'm just loving all this personality that I'm finding because of the Olympics, and I just want to draw them all as chibis. I was thinking it would be fun to do that. I draw Yuzuru Hanyu as a chibi. skating. I already drew a Yuri on ice chibi once as a commission. So kind of have skating chibi experience. I was thinking I'd do this silver. The problem is, should I do this part silver too and have that doesn't match here, because here I've got just silver on black. Because I could just do this whole thing black with one silver, but there's this one up here too. What should I do? Because I could make the gems or whatever they are black. I wonder if I should change the feet, or if it's okay that that little teardrop shape on the feet doesn't also match. Thinking. This is tough. Okay, I'm gonna color in this crotch plate first. Let's see what I think. This is definitely gonna be black right here, where all these lines are. Okay, now what do I think? Zoom out all the way. I guess I could make those gems a different color too. I mean, it doesn't mention it, but it does say he's wearing the armor of a house guard, so I don't think a guard would be wearing gems. Not on armor that's meant to be used and isn't just for show. I like the idea of this standing out. But I also like how these look with these ankle cuffs being black. I like how it's one solid color here, not too broken up. What should I do? What should I do? Okay. Maybe I will try doing all of this and even this part here around this teardrop shape. I'll do it all black. Then I'll do this sort of like decorative horned collar, silver, and these outlines here silver, and I'll do this one teardrop. I'll do it black. We'll try it out, see how it goes. This is just the kind of thing that sometimes I do stuff and then I end up not liking it. I have to redo so much of it. Soon's barking at something outside. Soon is my dog. He's got some little boofs going on. I don't know if you guys can hear him. He's all the way in the other room in our living area. Okay, I think I should use a much bigger brush to fill in this. I need just like boom, boom. I filled in a little bit too much. I'll have to erase. And I think I'm gonna do the helmet a different, it's totally different layer, even though it needs to be the same colors. So I'm not gonna even bother about the helmet right now. Colored a little too far right there. Colored into the fabric layer. Don't want to do that. Okay. Bring that down, bring that down there. How's that? Pretty good. This little corner. Oops, I don't want to do cloak layer. That would be covering the cloak layer. Don't want to do that. Erase that. Oops, erased it a little bit too much. Now I need to fill in here, here, all the way up to the cloak here. I do need to make sure that the cloak and this armor layer are meeting. Let me turn that on. Yeah, here you can see I got a little too much. Otherwise that looks good. I think maybe a little bit right there. Yep. Oh, these things too. I think these should be silver. These little triangles. I need to not forget about them. Okay, I was gonna do this gem black. I'm calling it a gem, but I don't want it to be a gem. Okay, on his shoulder pads, on his pauldron, definitely doing this outside part silver. That's an easy call. When I finish all of these, I'm going to make an image that has all of them, all four of this group of characters together, standing together. And then I'm going to make one final image with all 10 characters all standing together. I think it'll look really good. The whole role-playing group together. Because some of them are NPCs and stuff, but they clearly put the thought into them. So they have their own descriptions and backgrounds. Literary backgrounds, not visual backgrounds. And the one image I made with the first 6 characters together, I really liked how that turned out. I think it looks really cool. to make sure that this underclothes layer comes all the way over. Yes, it does. This is another tough one. I guess I'll do these two curves silver and the rest I will do black. Alright, that's silver, so I don't have to be super careful there. These elbow guards, should they be silver? Haven't even finished the arm yet, but I'm thinking, should they be silver or black? I actually like them silver, because if I do this part of the forearm silver, then that will be yet again two silver things next to each other, which is kind of turning into a theme. And then these two could be silver, these two could be silver, and again and again. Yep, I'll try that for now. If it doesn't look good, then I can always color it differently. Don't want to color over this fabric strip. I already colored that, so it's on a layer below. I've got 1, 2, and then this is black, but here there's only room for 2. I guess I'll just keep it silver. The way this is 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. This part should be black, I think. And this part of the thumb. I want to be careful around where the glove is exposed. And then this last bit of thumb armor. Okay, where are we now? There's one arm left. And this black layer, black armor layer. The hook is definitely supposed to be silver. And it's supposed to look like it's part of the armor. I'm looking at my reference sheet, my character description sheet. Yeah, it's just supposed to look like an extension of the armor. The hook is definitely supposed to be silver. So maybe what I'll do is I'll only do this part black, and the rest can be silver. And for the arm, all this part is all black. Not much left, not much left. Not much left on this layer. There's still quite a bit left for some other parts. Silver part of the armor, and then the helmet is going to have its own separate layers for the silver and the black. To make it easier to color those two areas. The regular armor versus the helmet. Regular armor. The rest of the armor, that's what I mean. So those areas will be silver down there. The rest of this will be black. Be careful right here. There, let's see. Zoom all the way out and turn all the layers back on. So let's do a save. Dang, he's looking vampire-like. I think he's looking really good though, and this freaking black and red looks so good. Even with his freaking messed up half of his face, looks awesome. I'm getting really excited about this one, because it's my favorite colors, black and red. Yeah, I think this is good enough for today. I only have about 10 more minutes in my streaming window, so that's not enough time to finish another whole layer. So I'm going to leave it here today. Tomorrow I will come back to it, probably finish the base colors and even have time to get started on some shading. Thank you for watching.